And we're recording. I had to move my microphone slightly. Great. That's a great sign of I don't know when I hit the button.
That's a welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean that could be a segue into just anything. That's just like, hey, we're dumb. What won't wreck us? Well, pretty much everything's gonna wreck me. Let's go with this one.
Who is it?
Royal Ludroth.
Alright, let's go easy. That one's a fairly easy monster to get done with.
Yeah, well, like, once again, most of rank 5 will be. It's just I need to definitely start considering making an armor set.
Well, there's still the Kezu that's kind of annoying. I mean, yes, I will destroy the thing, because, I mean, I have the Elder Dragon armor sets, and, well, not all of them, but I have some Elder Dragon sets, and just, overall, decent weapons, but Kezu is still a problem, because...
He's just so erratic.
Yeah.
Like, even someone who knows how to hunt Kezu, it's like, no one likes hunting Kezu.
No, not even the veterans. It's like, yes, I've defeated 1,000 Kezus. Did I enjoy it? No, I did not.
Well, that's also, like, just most things, though, to be fair for me. Freaking, we were just, like, before we recorded this, we were talking about the Tales of series, and it's like, yeah, no, I love the series, but there's a lot of BS with it sometimes.
Shit, there's a Rajang.
Oh yeah, they start showing up around 100 rank 5.
I wasn't expecting one in a
The Flowlands?
fight, just a random Ludroth fight.
Oh, well, like, they also kind of just stay and do their own thing. Like, they don't really go where the Royal Ludroth goes anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still going to have to hunt one regardless, because we're going to take on at least one every monster.
I know.
Also, why do you... Like, Rojang isn't even that terrifying in this game.
He still is pretty hectic. He's not difficult, he's just annoying.
Which, once again, like, we have definitely different views of how we view things like that.
Fair enough.
Because, like, then again, I'm also just used to, like, kind of the crazy shenanigans as, like... That's kind of my Let's Plays in general. Like, my Let's Plays are just kind of like, you know, here's, like, the basic guides of it, but here's what I'm going to do. Whenever I get started back on that LP that I promised forever ago, which is Octopath, by the way, when I finally get started back on that LP, oh my god, you guys are going to just be blown by how much crap I'm going to try in that game. It's so weird, because, like, we were also talking, like, well, way before our last conversation, we were talking about how Square Enix is, like, one of the best RPG makers or whatever, or how I was going on about it. And it's kind of true, because, like, Octopath was my favorite game from, like, 2019. Or 2019. 2019, whatever.
Oh my god, wait a minute, I just realized, I'm a dumbass, I did play a Final Fantasy.
4, probably?
No, 14. I'm actually in the process of finishing that one.
Oh, well, like, I mean, have you been keeping up with the updates and stuff? Because, like, there's new stuff. Isn't there coming out soon for it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going for an update soon. I haven't really been keeping tabs on it. I know that both of my roommates are, and that's the reason I've actually been...
I mean, I wish I could get into it. It's just I'm not paying for an online subscription because I got my Nintendo. My Nintendo's more than enough for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
But, like, if there's a reference you don't get, I could probably tell you what the reference is because I played pretty much all the main series stuff.
Well, I haven't really been playing for the story, to be honest. I've just been
No, but I mean, like, some of the raid stuff you probably wouldn't get. Like, you probably wouldn't know who Ozma is. You wouldn't know who, like, XDef is.
No, I can guarantee you that I have no idea who they are.
Ozma is the super fight in Final Fantasy 9, and XDef is the main villain in Final Fantasy 5.
I don't think they have those super fights in the game.
Well, no, but I think I saw one that was, like, the Death Gaze or something, and that's, like, one of the I don't remember which update it was or which DLC thing it was, but that was one of the 14 things I've seen.
Well, I mean, the only one that I'm familiar with anyway, because I haven't really gotten very far, like level 35, something like that. The only super fight that I'm aware of that's in the game, I don't know if it still is. It might be, but I'm not sure. It's the Living Castle.
Alexander, that's a summon in most Final Fantasy games. Yep.
And yeah, that's the only fight that I'm familiar with in the actual game, because we had a whole discussion about it with my roommate, because he has like the art book for that game, and just going through it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is a living castle, lol."
Well, I mean, he is a living castle, and in the one particular Final Fantasy game, mostly 9. I'm pretty sure 9, and I think he's in a couple other ones. Like, he's in 13. I know that much, but he's an actual summon in 13. In Final Fantasy 9, he was an entire plot element about how Garnet's castle is actually Alexander, but like it takes massive amounts of magic to keep him in physical form and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my roommate told me.
It's weird. I mean, I can also get the Final Fantasy wrong. I don't know if it's 9, but I know he's in at least one of them. That isn't like the 0 or Link. I know he's in Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. He's the Light Temple boss. And before anyone's gonna ask, no, I will not do a Let's Play of Chocobo Mystery Dungeon. I like the series, but my god, that one on on the Switch is so much harder than the one on the Wii. I actually 100% of the one on the Wii. On the Switch, I haven't even got past the main story yet. So let that say that I think the remake is worse than the original. And then people are excited for the Chocobo racing game, which I mean is cool, but like, I technically own that for PS1.
What do you mean technically?
It's pretty much what I saw from the E3 thing or the Nintendo Direct. It's pretty much the same game from the PS1, just updated to have online and updated to have better graphics. I was also kind of hoping that we'll get another Final Fantasy Tactic game and make it a little bit easier for new players like myself, but we're getting Triple Tactics or whatever that game is called, and I'm not going to buy it. What is it called? You know what I'm talking about, right? The triple thing that had a demo?
Nope.
Triangle Strategy, I think it was called. Whatever. It's one of the few Square Enix games I'm like, no, I'm cool skipping on that one.
Did you carve the tail?
Yes.
Okay.
And like, here's the thing. Like, I also say this right now. Like, just because they make a lot of good RPGs doesn't mean that I'm gonna like every single one of them. There's a lot of Square Enix properties I'm just like, nope, I'm good.
Cheers, mate, but no thanks.
Yeah. Well, because I'm also more into, like, not lesser known in the Western world, because there's a lot of RPG games out there in Japan that never hit North America or Europe, so I'm like, I tried them, and they're pretty fun. Except there was one that hit North America, and I think it did pretty well in North America, but not so much in Europe. The Recorded War of Argarus, I think it's called. I love the first, the first one and not the second one. It's called Argus War 2, but it's like the third one in the series, and it's like a 4-part series. I like the first one and the third one. The second one is and then the last one is kind of crap. So, I mean, for those who know that, like, I did plan to Let's Play, and I think some of the first episodes are still on my YouTube channel, because I never deleted them. But it's a situation where, like, yeah, I played further into it, and my game kept crashing at a certain point.
Yeah, in those types of situations, there's no point.
Yeah, and, like, the reason I keep it on there is because I have, like, a fake hope that I might do it again on Steam, because the Steam version doesn't crash. It was originally a PS3 game, that's why I'm saying that.
Well, fair enough.
My PS3 copy was good though. Like I played it like on my own. I finished it later in life, and then it's just like, I guess the save file must have just been corrupted on my recording file. But I mean, like it's good on Steam. But I'm also gonna have to buy a controller for the third game. There's no two ways around it. I'm not playing that on a keyboard. What else is there? I don't know, like, I'm very picky about my games, and I guess I'm not as picky as some people I know, but I'm still really damn picky.
I mean, it's understandable, to be honest, because...
Because you're paying a lot of damn money.
Yeah. So there's just no point in buying a game that, you know, you're bound to not like. It's just a waste of time, a waste of money, so, no, it's...
Unless you do it because of a series of branding, effectively. Because I did that with Hyperdementia, and Super Hyperdementia RPG sucked ass.
Fair enough.
And, like, here's the thing, I like it, because I liked a lot of the in-jokes, a lot of, like, the developer jokes, a lot of, like, the Sega War / Nintendo War thing that was going on in the 90s. Like, I'm not old enough to really know that to the fullest extent, but I still found it funny because I did do a lot of research. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. The Dragon Quest references, the like computer uprising and all that. So like, it's all in that game series, but it's also like that one in particular just sucked. I'd rather play Mega Hyperdementia, and that game is considered one of the fans' worst. Like, I'm probably the only one who defend that game that I know of. And then also back on the PS3 where, like, I mean, pretty much anything you bought on the PS3 if it's an RPG was going to be pretty much like a golden game. I'm looking at my PS3 games. Maybe the only one I bought that I was never too happy with, it was probably Gundam Dynasty Warrior, the first one. Because it was short, and you didn't do a whole lot. There wasn't a lot of maps, but that's also Dynasty Warriors. The third one was alright, though. The third one at least kept you on your toes for a little bit. Especially if you tried 100% it like I did. Eternal Sonata was also really good, but I also had to order that off Amazon.
And we all know what happens with Amazon in it.
Oh, okay, I mean, I still use Amazon. Amazon is trustworthy. It's just sometimes they mess up.
Yeah, I know. Wait, what are these guys weak to? Because I don't like these guys all too much, and I know they're not weak to fire. I might as well just build.
I think it's thunder or water. I'm pretty sure it's water.
I'm just gonna bring the poison back and fuck it.
Water and poison is 1 star.
Yeah, I'll just bring that.
Well, bring whatever you want. Like, we're gonna kill it regardless.
Yeah. They're fairly weak. They're fairly weak monsters. So
well, we're fighting 2 of them, so yes.
Oh yeah, there's 2 of them as well. Yeah, it's gonna be easy.
So yeah, I mean, like, and here's the thing, like, I've only played, like, I think what people said, like, half of Eternal Sonata, and I still thought it was a pretty damn good game. It was also, like, one of the first... Wasn't it, like, a launch title for the Xbox 360 for RPG standards?
No idea.
Because I remember watching commercials back in, like, 2007, when I still watched TV a lot. And, like, I don't know. To be fair, it was also done by... I'm pretty sure it was done by the same people who did the Tales of games, because one of the characters is a costume in Tales of Vesperia. Which I'm kind of sad they chose the guy who was technically comatose. It was a weird thing where, like, I remember in the halfway mark, it was like, he's not comatose, but he's also, like, a mixed being that lives in their world, but he also lives in our world simultaneously. It was weird. I say it's weird, and then I'm like, I played Ni no Kuni, and Ni no Kuni has a lot of plot holes like that, too. Great game, by the way, 1 and 2, for both different reasons. I would so be down doing a Ni no Kuni Let's Play, but I saw the Switch port of it, and I'm like, I'm not spending that much money on the Switch port. I'm good. Then again, I'm also looking at like local game stores, and they definitely try to like lower hand the people who don't know what they're buying.
I mean, isn't that just every type of company? It's just that whenever you go to a store, they always...
No, I mean, this one is definitely run by a woman who doesn't know what the hell she's talking about.
Oh.
This is also a woman I bought Final Fantasy VII from, and I swore I would never buy a game from her ever again. I haven't. So, a copy of Final Fantasy VII, a PS1 copy, how much do you think that would go for?
I mean, at the time or now?
Now, in American, if you could possibly help that.
Well, I'm assuming you'd buy it about $50.
Really? Because Final Fantasy VII is pretty common to find in like a lot of places. If you're shopping at like a thrift store, not a thrift store, but like if you're shopping at like a used game store.
Yeah, like the sales games secondhand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you get it for like 15 to 20.
Yeah. Guess how much she charged in Canadian?
30.
75.
What the fuck?
It wasn't even the fact that it was $70 that concerned me. It was the fact that she added $5.
Don't go, please. I'm sorry,
I know.
I don't know why. My health's piss low, and I got stunned and then paralyzed instantly.
Okay, I'm coming up. I got enough stuff from here. It was like 60 or like 70, as I said, but like it's still like that's way too much for a common game you could find.
I'm assuming the $5 would be like, well, normally it wouldn't come on games, but I'm assuming it would be like some kind of insurance or something. I mean, I guess it should be mandatory for secondhand games, because I mean, like, there is the slight chance that it doesn't work, and well, I guess it's...
Nope, like, she said pretty much like to my dad, because I was shopping with my dad at that point. She was like, it's either you take it and you run with it, or you leave it and you buy something else. Because this was like, I don't want to be rude about this, but she was like a Portuguese old woman who very much did not know what the hell she was talking about.
Fair enough.
So, like, what ended up happening was my dad just said, screw it, it's not your money, don't worry about it. If it breaks, we'll just sell it off to some other stupid person. Or we'll sell it off to your uncle, who will probably end up fixing it regardless. So I was like, sure, whatever. So I still have that copy, by the way, because it's way too expensive to not like to let go at this point.
Yeah.
So I still have my copy. It ran fine. And then I think it was my second time playing through it, just 100% it for the fun of it. Which, I mean, there's no fun in Final Fantasy VII, because I don't care what anyone says, 7's the worst. Our Disc 2 somehow does not know how to read on my PS2. And I would be more upset if it was Disc 3, because that's the final act of the game. Disc 2 is the second. And all the cool stuff happens in Disc 2. So yeah, I mean, like, that probably also hindered my experience of Final Fantasy VII as a whole, because A, it's boring, B, I kind of got ripped off on it. Or my dad did, because my dad was the one who bought it. But, like, I could go to a con, and I could probably find it for cheaper.
That's kind of what's disappointing in it, because, I mean... You're buying a game that's a rip-off that doesn't even work for like half of it. Well, a third of it.
Uh-huh.
And the third that doesn't work is the best one. Kind of disappointing.
Well, yeah, because that's kind of like where you can kind of sequence break a lot of it and get like the overdrives and whatnot for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, that's also like when you find Sephiroth and you free him because you're an idiot. I don't care what anyone says, I still think Cloud's a giant moron.
I'm sorry, I'm about to cut you right here. Do you have... So you play Dual Blades. how do you charge the second blade on the red gorge?
Charge the second blade on... What?
You know, when you enter demon mode, it charges a gorge on the top left next to your sharpness bar. How do you charge the second one?
You don't. I think it's just for the one bar.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're... okay, so, like, when you're in demon mode filling it up, it starts filling up that one bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only for that one bar.
Okay.
Alright. I didn't understand exactly what you're saying, so I'm like, okay, I need clarification.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I wasn't very clear, to be honest.
So yeah. And I mean, like, I see why people praise it, but I'm also like, no, play the older Final Fantasy games, or like 9. So much better. Which is funny, because I didn't even finish any of the PS1 games because I was so distasteful towards 7.
Wait, so then, if it wasn't 7, which one was remastered on Switch? Or remastered? They kept like the overall layouts, and they just modified the to give them a more 3D look, which I find kind of disappointing, to be honest, because it really did not stick with the.
Well, like 7 got a proper remaster. Like 7 was built from the ground up.
I'm not writing this thing.
I mean, do you mean like the? Okay, so what are you trying to mean? Like the speed up mechanic and stuff like that?
No, it had, you should have just crashed him into the barrack.
Oh, right. There, fixed it. For the Switch.
Yeah, there was a remake on Switch, because my roommate is also a Final Fantasy fan. And he had the remake. I'm not sure if it might be 4. I can't remember if it was 4 or 5. It might have been 7. That's why I wasn't sure about. He played us through the final boss of the game, if I remember correctly.
What did it look like? I could tell based off the final boss if it was the final boss.
I can't remember. That's the problem. I remember it was some bullshit battle where you just basically had to heal spam because he would always put you on 1 health. I do remember one particular boss. It was like an airship.
The only ones that you fight an airship in I could think of is 6 and 5.
So it might have been 5. It might have been the 5 that was remastered on Switch. I'm gonna have to ask.
No. Unless the European, unless you guys on Europe side got them, but like, the only ones that ever got re-released for the Switch that I'm aware of is Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, which you play as the little yellow bird. That one, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, and Final Fantasy 9, so the PS1 games.
So, it might have been. It was either 7 or 9. So I don't remember him ever mentioning the 8 to me. I'm gonna have to ask him about it, and I'll come back to you because
like if it. Because all the PS1 games, and like even some of the earlier Final Fantasy games, dropped you to one health too. If it looked like he was floating into like a Cosmos situation, that was 7. But if it was like, did he look? Okay, you know Digimon, so I could ask this very easily. Did the final boss look like Angemon?
I don't know.
Or Mega Angemon, or whatever the Mega evolution of Angemon was.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, like, I want to help you because I know all the damn games. I just don't.
No, I'm trying to think about it because one thing that I do remember is the final cutscene. It was something about a tree trying to attack you.
A tree trying to. Well, if that was Final Fantasy 9, that was like the first boss in the game.
No, it's like the final cutscene after you kill the final boss. There's like a tree that tries to attack you.
Final
like
Fantasy.
It's like a massive tree, and to access the final boss, you have to go down this massive tree.
That might have been Crystal Chronicles then. Because that's the only one I've never played. I own it, but I never finished it.
I'm gonna have to look it up because I can't remember. I'll look it up after we kill this thing.
Yeah, and I'll set up the next quest for that.
Alright.
Well, we're also going to end the video, so we'll just do it on the downtime.
Fair enough.
I should also clarify this for anyone who's questioning this. Why haven't I finished Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles? Easy, because it's impossible with one player. Or it's probably possible, I'm just very, like, not skilled with the side games. It's fun, though. I would definitely say it's fun, it's just you definitely need, like, at least one other person to help you play it. I haven't played a lot of the side games for Final Fantasy, just because, like, they were never interesting enough for me. I think the only one I was really interested in was the Crystal Bearer, the one for the Wii.
Maybe.
It was one of the live-action ones that looks kind of fun. One of my friends played it, and she said it was actually pretty good. There's a couple of the Wii. I think there's also, like, Final Fantasy IV After Years. Oh, excuse me. Final Fantasy IV After Years. How to serve a Dark Lord, how to serve a light hero. It was just basically like town builders at that point. I played the demo, I'm pretty sure, and the demos were alright. But that was also the same time I got into the Pokemon Rumble scene, and Pokemon Rumble, very love-hate relationship with some people, or, you know, just completely hate it.
That's kind of my situation, to be honest. I don't dislike it, but then again, I don't particularly like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on that camp too, because it's like, cool idea, and it's definitely worth the money, like the $7 or whatever it is, like £7 or whatever it is for you.
I mean, I'm in euros because I'm.
Oh, euros, right? Sorry, you're not in Europe. You're not in Britain, so that's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's worth like the $7. Like I put definitely enough $7 worth into those games.
I mean, over here they oversell it. It's like $20.
My God.
Yeah, it's kind of a rip-off.
I complain about American prices, but I also complain about American prices compared to U.S. prices.
Yeah.
Or I also just said the same thing. I meant Canadian prices to U.S. prices. I don't know. I'm trying to think of just games I played randomly and I kind of enjoyed, but kind of didn't. Bravely Default's one of them, weirdly enough, even though that's like probably one of the best games that came out like, what, last year? No, I should also clarify, Bravely Default 2, not Bravely Default 1 or the second. I don't know, just, there was so much stuff I was expecting from Bravely Default, and then it kind of failed on a couple of ends of it. Mostly the music. I really did not like the music. I will also clarify this. I did not like the music for the world map. The world map music sucked in Bravely Default 2. Because it was literally just the same song, but a couple instrument changes when you're in different areas.
Kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of that. But, like, the game mechanics and, like, all the mechanics are fine. I just didn't like the music choice, because it's like, I feel like we should have different music for different lands. Even if it's the same continent, it should still be different. I did like the finale, though. The finale was freaking amazing, if you got to the true finale, which you technically have to game over 3 times in that game to get the true finale. Which I liked. I'm not going to spoil anything past that, and by LP the game eventually, I'm definitely going to make people very furious with me because of certain things.
It's understandable.
Oh yeah, no, like, if the game does it that way, I'm going to do the exact same way. And to be fair, I have, like, an entire script ready for that, so it's going to be hilarious. I did like the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate they did with that, where all 4 of the main characters were spirits in Smash.
Wait, who are they?
Gloria Self. Adele and Alvis?
Because I haven't played the World of Light all too much.
Oh, it's not World of Light. It was a thing they added.
Oh. Okay, fair enough.
So you can only get it through the Spirit Board. I don't know. I have a lot to say. I'll say it when I actually output the game. Eventually. Because God knows my plate's full enough as it is. Sorry, I just shoved pizza in my mouth. I'm still pretty full on Tales of Vesperia, so like, as of this recording, I'm still not even remotely close to doing that, and I don't want to start another big project until that's done. Sorry, that was like, very rude of me to talk with a mouthful, but I also had pizza right next to me, so I'm like, nothing wrong. Okay, so you're going to look up that Final Fantasy thing and show me a picture of it, and then we're setting up between now and the next episode.
Alright, let's try and find that one. I'll search the bosses and...
Yeah, it should probably come out if we search bosses.
Yeah, it was Final Fantasy 9. It was Necron.
Necron, okay. I must say I've only beat 9 once, so my memory's kind of crap on it. See you guys.